And State Senator Patty Murray is now calling for the removal of President Trump from office under the 25th Amendment.
As she claims this is the most immediate way to ensure the president is prevented from causing more harm to the country heading towards Inauguration Day, January 20th.
Well, joining us now to break down exactly what this would mean, how it could look, is Jack Miller, a political science professor at Portland State University. Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
So let's talk about this, the 25th Amendment. How exactly does it work for those who aren't familiar? What was it designed to do?
Well, it was originally put in place to ensure against a president having some kind of incapacity, physical incapacity, that would prevent him or her from doing the duties of office. Woodrow Wilson had a stroke while he was still president, and it's now well known that his wife was actually running the executive branch at the time. And so that was the immediate purpose. But then the broader purpose was to ensure that we had responsible leadership at the top of the chain of command of the military and at the head of the executive branch. It seems like this is exactly the kind of circumstance that the 25th Amendment was designed to address. And I think that a lot of people are thinking, if it's not invoked now, then when would it ever be? If not now, when?
And so how exactly, if you invoke this amendment, what then happens if you were to remove the president from office?
And the amendment is actually very specific. The only person who can activate this process is the Vice President of the United States, who assembles the cabinet and with a majority vote of the cabinet can declare the president unfit for office. And then there's a process for the president to then essentially say, no, I am fit for office, and Congress then has to validate that claim, that counterclaim by the president, and that Congress has 14 days to do so. The 14th Amendment, the 25th Amendment also has authorizes Congress to create a separate body in addition to the cabinet for the vice president to turn to in times like this. Congress has not used that authority, so there is no such body. And I think that one of the things that is probably going to be discussed in future months is creating such a body so that we don't actually rely on the group of people who are appointed by the president himself. And that's part of the problem right now, is that people are wondering, well, if the cabinet is stacked with Donald Trump loyalists, is this effort even possible, even at this moment when so many people who are former members of the Trump administration are saying that he is unfit for office and potentially actually insane at this moment. So I expect that in the future there will be a debate in Congress to create this body that the 25th Amendment authorizes, but there is no such body at this moment. And so the only people we can rely on are the members of the cabinet appointed by Donald Trump. And the only one person who can activate this process is Vice President Mike Pence.
Okay, so that's probably why a lot of people are doubtful that it will happen. We've got about 2 weeks left with Trump in office. Is there anything that could happen to prevent his removal from the office?
Well, impeachment is normally a drawn-out process, as we saw last year. The House will have hearings and then drop official articles of impeachment that are then passed by the House of Representatives, and the Senate will have a removal trial. And that can, it takes, under normal circumstances, and I hear the air quotes right now when I say the word normal, that could take months. It is not a requirement that it take that long. All that is required for impeachment and removal is for the House to vote with a 2/3 majority to pass articles of impeachment, and for the Senate, the House to with a majority, and for the Senate with a 2/3 vote of senators to vote to remove the president from office. The difference between impeachment and the 25th Amendment is this also, is that the 25th Amendment sets up a process where the president can then protest or seek to be restored. Impeachment is permanent, and not only would it remove Donald Trump from office, it would actually prevent him from running for future federal office at all. So impeachment is actually the stronger, more muscular process. And while people are saying, well, there's only 13 days left, it's not enough time, there's no requirement that this take more than a day. I mean, the House of Representatives could assemble today, vote for articles of impeachment, send it over to the Senate, and the Senate could hold a removal trial in a day. They did so very quickly when the impeachment articles were passed last year, and vote by tomorrow afternoon to remove Donald Trump from office and to prevent him from holding future federal office.
So that, of course, remains to be seen if that will happen. Professor Miller, we're almost out of time. Real quickly, I just want to ask you, can the date of the inauguration be changed in any way?
No, it can't. That is in the Constitution itself. A lot of these other processes are up to sort of congressional action, but the inauguration is set as not just the 20th, but noon. And so at that very moment, the Trump administration will end and the Biden administration will begin.
All right. Jack Miller from PSU, thank you so much for breaking all this down for us and clarifying some of these details that, a lot of people aren't familiar with.
Well, thanks for letting me do it.
Okay, find the latest on the chaos at the Capitol, as well as more reaction from lawmakers in the Pacific Northwest on KOIN.com. And if you download our KOIN 6 News app, you can get the latest breaking news alerts sent straight to your phone as soon as it happens.
Well, Portland police declared an unlawful assembly